Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Halluf, and it's under the command of Photobomber. And yes, we've seen him before in action, and he's done rather well.
I'll try to be extra careful with those thugs.
Okay, game on. Stock gun on the Hummel, which is always a good sign, because it means that he knows that this is the gun that actually does the worst damage to the enemy. In fact, of course, Photobomber's been on the channel many times before, and he's been very good as well. He's actually sticking around here for the moment, so he doesn't need to move too far away, and that might be because he's actually going to try and get some early shots on some of the enemy tanks when they get down into the valley, and he's found one. It's an AMX CLC 901, one of the new ones, the Tier 6 one. And his first shot does some damage. He gets 133 and he gets the stun assist afterwards. So he doesn't have a kill, but he does have some damage on the board. And he's looking at that Tiger 131 and he's reloading very quickly. Remember, with the stock gun, it reloads much faster than it does with the top gun. Okay, he's tracking a T52. Fires one in. Don't know if he actually hit it. Now the standard reload by the book is 25.31 seconds. I suspect that you'll find Photobomber's got a much lower reload than that. In fact, it's 20.74. Rounds out in the Aslains. Oh my god, that was a fantastic shot. That was a penetrating shot. Low roll. 470 and the Nashorn is gone, so he's picked up even more damage and stun assist. Now it's 480 alpha with the standard HE rounds, 38mm of pen. With the extra HE you get 580 and 48mm of pen, and with the armor piercing, if you use that, 340 hit points but 154mm of pen, which means that little tanks like this would suffer a lot of damage. That's the Type 64. Rounds out. And it's a direct hit! Oh my god, that guy really will be hurting right now. He just took a massive hit, and it looked like it landed directly in the cockpit, so I'm surprised it didn't die straight away. Now, as you know, the Hummel was made from a combination of the Panzer III and the Panzer IV. It's actually two tanks in one. They use bits of both vehicles to put it together, but it's mainly, I'd say mainly a Panzer IV, that is Panzer IV. He's trying to focus his fire, and he's actually stunning multiple tanks down here. There's that Type 64, and he went down with only 125 hit points, so he may have actually got a penetrating shot on that guy. Okay, the OI pops forward, rounds out. And that's a direct hit, and it stuns two of them, the OI and the T-3485M. He's focusing on the E8 at the moment. That quick reload with the stock gun is so much more useful. And of course, although it does have less damage than the top gun, it does have a better trajectory, and he's just stunned the OI just before he was about to take a shot, and he's picked up stun assist for 274, so he's actually got some extra assist there from actually basically just landing a shell behind him to stun him. Now, can he get another one on target? Well, the OI knows what's coming, and he pulls back, but he does pick up some damage, 22 hit points. Now, the Germans made 705 of these in total during the war, and 157 of the munitions charger. That's basically the same vehicle, but with no howitzer. It's just carrying shells and charges. The charges were actually in little silk purses that they would carry the powder, and depending on the range that you wanted to fire at, you put a certain number of those silk pouches into a little China tin, which was basically the charge holder, and then so they shoved the 15 centimeter shell up inside the breech, and then they put this little charge in after it, and then of course a cap which would actually be used to fire the powder. He's having a bit of fun with that KV2. The guy's tracked at the moment, but he has already hit him once. Can you get him again? He's going to have to lead the target now because the guy's moving. Rounds out. Looks good. Well, it hit the ground, but we didn't see no explosion. We saw an explosion. So we know that the guy was either slightly off or he didn't hit him at all. Okay, so Photobomber's moving right into the corner now. He's decided to stop and... Oh, the KV2 went down. And it looked like he had lost some hit points. So maybe that shot was close enough. His team are 3 up on the enemy, so he's having a good day. I always like these sort of games where you know that Arty can actually have a significant effect upon the battle. It's all down to the skill of the player, and if they can do it, then obviously their teammates may not thank them, but obviously they will realise, they know, the Arty player knows, that yes, he did have an effect upon the game, and it actually did have an effect. Oh, look, that one hit! That one hit the OI, and I suspect it was an engine deck hit at that. There's only 4 enemy tanks left. The OI is now down to 611 hit points. I doubt if he penetrated him, but he would have done some damage, and that's what counts. It'll also make that OI very cautious about pulling back. He's already lost another 154, so can we do the same again? Rounds out and lands next to him, and he loses 33, but he's stunned, and whilst he's stunned, he will be reluctant to actually poke his nose out. The other good thing about having the stock gun, of course, is that you actually get more shells as well. You only get 18 rounds with the standard. Oh, he got the kill! And that's his first kill of the game. It landed on the engine deck, and this time round it did go through. And, or at least I think it may have gone through, but it certainly overwhelmed, and that was him out the game. Now, he's still carrying some extra HE, the non-stun variety, and the armor-piercing ones as well. Of course, for thin-skinned vehicles, those armor-piercings are virtually almost a guaranteed penetration. Almost, I say. The thing is, you actually do have to hit the enemy tank to make it work. And now we're down to only 1 tank up on the enemy. So things are not going well. His teammates have rather dropped the ball. It's almost like they're trying to throw the game. We can see the Jacksons moving across the valley. And the enemy team doesn't have much in the way of hit points. They're very low on hit points. And I get the feeling Photobomber thinks that, yeah, he's going to go aggressive now. He's going to walk all over them if he gets the chance. And he might be able to get a shell on that Fury who's hiding behind a rock. He's almost at maximum range. You can see he's having to go right to the edge of the valley to get a shot. In fact, he almost went into that rock. So I think he's decided to go down the slope. He can get down into the bottom of the valley. Okay, that's it. That should be enough. Now, where is that Fury? Last time we saw him, he was up here. There he is. And now the trajectory's gone wrong because the guy on the Basotto dies. Yes, the problem is that whilst he was on the high edge of the valley, it was enough to actually loop the shell over the rock and into the Fury, but now it's not. But this is good news. This is the SU-8, the enemy Arty, and he's on the move, and it's 2 versus 2 now. So can he get a shot into this guy? He's almost loaded. The guy's on the move, rounds out. Well, he takes a piece of him and stuns the SU-8. You can can see that the SU-8 went through the field. Now, maybe, just maybe, he's actually going to go to the same spot where the Fury is at this moment. And if so, then might be what he's going to do is they're going to fight it out using that area, that corner. And in fact, the SU-8 almost goes up the wall. So he wasn't driving very well, but he's now situated himself. And now we fire a round in. And that kills the SU-8. Second kill of the game for Photobomber. So his teammate, the Jackson's got 2 kills. Photobomber's got 2 kills. The Fury has got 3. So it's 2 versus 1. We do outnumber him. But the question is the Jackson going to be able to take that Fury out? And yeah, the problem is that the enemy Fury has moved. In the meantime, when we didn't see him, he actually sneaked up on top of that ridgeline. And now he's firing at the Jackson. Now, rounds out. It lands near him, stuns him. All we can do is work with what the Jackson tells us by showing us. Not a good idea to get in the cap for the Jackson, because the Fury will just poke up over the ridgeline like that and take a shot. And he'll do that on a regular basis. And the Jackson probably won't be able to get fire back. But it does give Photobomber a chance to get a shell in on the guy. He fires one of them. Well, now he's loading the non-stun HE, so it does have more damage, but the thing is that it also has a closer burst radius, so a smaller burst radius, so he has to get the shells closer to make it work. It's 4-meter blast radius now. The Jackson is still capping. And he is losing hit points. He's just been reset. So the Easy 8 waited until he got enough cap points. So he's guaranteed himself a Defender medal. Now this thing does not climb up hills well. It's only 42 kilometers an hour maximum speed. But going up a hill, it's probably going to drop to about 10 to 15. And I'm wondering if he's going to go up the side road to try and get up to the top. No, he's decided to climb the hill. It's quicker, it's easier. The Jackson's abandoned the cap. He's decided not going to cap anymore. We can't shoot from where we are at the moment because everything's working against us. He has decided he's going to go around. And I think he might try and come up behind the Fury. Now the Fury is kind of trapped. He either goes over the edge of the cliff and then becomes an easy target for the Jackson, or we get him in the rear. The thing is, the Jackson on our team is badly damaged now. He lost another hit to the Easy 8. Okay, 2-minute warning. Now we're coming up the same direction. The Fury's not at the end of this road. He's to our left. Up on top of the cliff. The Jackson is at the moment is hiding where we killed the SU-8. Here he comes! Oh, what a shot! That wins the game! What a shot by Photobomber! Well, wasn't that an amazing snapshot to win the game by Photobomber in the Hummel? In fact, that was the first ace tanker by Photobomber on this vehicle. Yes, you can tell it's an ace, and it's his first one because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10, and he got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And his winning in that game was 4,624, which is Super Unicum standard. And just look at the sheer number that he actually did hit in that game. That's a lot. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't pick up the highest damage in the game because that actually went to the E8 Sherman on the enemy team. He got 2,252 hit points of damage. And I think that during the game, I'm pretty sure Photobomber did get around on that guy. When it came to the second highest damage, that actually belonged to the OI, who got 2,170 hit points of damage, and he definitely killed that guy. And third highest damage, that was Photobomber with 2,134 hit points. When it came to kills, he was in joint second because the E8 got 4 kills. 3 kills went to Photobomber, to the AMX 12-ton and the VK3002M on his own team. And on the enemy team, their OI and their Fury both got 3 kills. The Fury, of course, got that Defender medal because he reset the cap on the Jackson and managed to get at least 70 cap points. I think he was waiting for the right moment to actually put that shot in to guarantee that he took away a medal regardless of what happened. And when it came to base XP, we can see, yes, it was Photobomber who got 999. And yes, it was yes in this occasion. He got the win. He got the highest base XP. 844 went to the Poodle. 783 went to the AMX 12-ton. He fired 21 rounds, so he still had 6 rounds spare at the end of the game. He got 9 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrating shots, 20 splashes. 2,134 hit points, of which 2,110 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see the difference was, of course, that close range shot on the Fury, who suddenly appeared out of nowhere and then realized that there was a Hummel sitting behind him, but it was too late for him to do anything about it. And thanks to the steady hand of Photobomber, he managed to get that round right on target to get the kill and win the game. He earned damage 10 of the enemy, kill 3, and he did 989 hit points of stun assist off 19 stuns. On a premium count, he made 112,603 credits from the game, and that included 90,000 credits for mission completion and 2,997 experience points as well. So what a great game that was. It went down to 13 minutes 28 seconds, so it was quite a long game, but he had a completely steady hand at the end. Most people might fluff that shot, and if he had fluffed it, that Fury would have taken him out, no doubt about that whatsoever, because it takes him 20 seconds to reload. The Fury can reload in a matter of, well, 3 or 4 seconds, and he would have just turned around and blown Photobomber away with 2 shots. And so that would have been the end of the game. But because he has a steady hand, Photobomber took advantage of the Fury, who suddenly appeared out of nowhere and suddenly felt, oh dear, I've been exposed. And yep, got the kill that mattered. And I'm sure the driver in the Jackson, who was down to his last few hit points, was very relieved when he suddenly saw that the Fury had suddenly died to the Hummel. Yes, he must have said, thank God for that. And they won the game. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.